And I think that the politics of this day, where we have the celebration or the anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech on the mall in Washington, D.C. with the Glenn Beck, I'm not sure what it is happening there, and I'm not sure if anybody knows, but anyway, what's that?
It's I Have a Scheme.
Oh, I Have a Scheme! Jim, are you paying attention? Are you taking notes? So here we are, caught between Barack and a hard place. and yet, I think if we can all come back to, what it means to each of us to be American, to have a vision, to have dreams, and what is the core? What is our individual core and our collective core, el corazón of what we call the American dream? And if we can come back to that and identify that as our common ground and leave the labels behind, I have a feeling our country is going to be in a much better place if we were able to do that. And one of the people who helps do that, for me, is Jim Hightower on the radio every day, long about 5:30-ish. He rides us into the sunset on the journey home at 101.1 FM, a little plug there. And he helps us get real. He tells the stories like they are. It doesn't matter who's doing what to whom, Democrat, Republican, Green, or Independent. He is there trying to do as best as he can to tell the truth, with a dash of humor, which is one of the things that makes it go down a little easier. And so I'd just like to ask you to welcome him, and feel free to join in the conversation at the end of his talk, when we can perhaps make some sense of what's going on in our world, in our country, and here in our community. So please help me welcome Jim Hightower, whose book is available from the front here. Swim Against the Current. Welcome to the
Thank you all. Thanks so much. Terrific. Wow. Great to be here at Collected Works, one of the great independent bookstores. I travel a lot around America, and I judge a town in terms of whether it's a town or a community. And a community always has good beer, a farmer's market, a good public library, community radio, and an independent bookstore. And you've got them all. You are. Thanks to Diego, his terrific work on KSFR, and beyond that, really, his environmental and energy work that he's doing in his own personal life. He's uglier than an elbow wrinkle, as you can see, but but he does for the heavy lifting, and that's what we need in our country today. And I thank KSFR for allowing a scruffy Texas populace to be back here, and just makes me happier than a flea at a dog show to be looking out at all of you savvy and scrappy KSFR supporters, you radioactive creators, collaborators, and connectors, you grassroots greed whackers and agitators for America's proud progressive values, economic fairness, social justice, equal opportunity for all people. That's what we represent, not only as progressive, but as a country. That's what we stand for. I don't think you'll hear a lot of that today at the Glenn Beck rally, but nonetheless, that is what America is all about, in case they're confused on it, and I'm sure they are. Just a joy to join you tonight in support of your very own public radio station. KSFR is radio with a purpose. Not to make a profit for the few, but to make a difference for the many. Not to build a powerful radio conglomerate, but to build a powerful radio community, using the airwaves to help the broad public make waves, battling the plutocrats, autocrats, theocrats, kleptocrats, who seem entitled to run roughshod over our democracy, over our country's workaday majority, over our society's historic egalitarian values. I compare KSFR community radio station generally to a little hardware store near my home in Austin, Texas, on the south side of the town. It's a great store. It's called Harold's Hardware, And it's not as big as this room right here, much less over there, but not as big as this one here. But it's a great store. Because Harold's, you don't have to buy that whole pack of nails. You know, they'll sell you 3 nails. I need 3 nails. Here. That'll be 3 pennies. They'll say, well, what are you trying to do? Well, I'm trying to build a counter. Well, let's pencil it out here and see what you need. They'll loan you a tool. You can take a tool home and bring it back. And the slogan at Harold's Hardware is, together we can do it yourself. That's got to be our slogan, doesn't it?